Well, hello, my beautiful Gemini. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, of course, I'm in a different location at this moment in time. I've just gone to visit family members for the next coming weeks, but I will be back in my usual space after that. I just thought I'd explain the new location, okay? So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Gemini, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile will be the unified energy of how things are going to come together, okay? So also it's worth noting that if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That's more likely to be a false flame connection, and that will drain you of your beautiful love and waste your wonderful time. You know, the difference between, a twin flame and a false flame, or even a karmic, is that false flames and even karmics will trigger you without the spiritual development or growth, okay? There will be no evolution. It will continue to be a toxic cycle, a repeat, where no one learns their lesson, no one has epiphanies or realizations, and no one focuses on their true sense of purpose or even connects to unconditional love, okay? Twin flames, they are magnetic, an otherworldly experience, a bond like no other, of course. And whilst it is a very passionate, intense, physical relationship and romantic in nature, the relationship ends up being more of a process that prepares you to release lower vibrational energy that keeps you stuck in either fear, addictive patterns, or unhealthy attachments. And that's for you, my beautiful Gemini, as well as your twin flame. It's a very intense inner vibrational transformation, but it is a personal journey of discovery, and it is one that must be done alone, because the twin flame sort of dynamic is to trigger each party in order to discover their sense of true purpose and embrace unconditional love. And only then can the reunion process really take place and offer a sustainable relationship from a healthy place, okay? Now, twin flames, they are a formed sacred union, which is a result of shared difficulty and pain. Twin flames tend to have had some level of trauma or challenge before they even meet each other. And of course, that often triggers a relationship. Anything that's been left unhealed because of those experiences, the twin flame dynamic is to amplify these areas in order to promote healing and growth, okay? So it's not a game, it's an energetic exchange, and it's very challenging, this relationship, because both parties need to become aware, and that's often very hard to fathom, that the relationship actually has a process that has a purpose, which is to make sure that anything that has been left unhealed is processed so both of you can come into a divine union without any baggage from the past, okay? Now, there tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. And of course, that's not always typical to form, but it tends to be the norm of the dynamic. And the chaser is the one who is spiritually evolved to a certain degree on their path, and they're willing to surrender to the divine order of the union. They know it is exposing, and it puts them in a very vulnerable place to open up to that depth of love. And of course, they decide to take the union, and the runner, also feels that unconditional love for their twin. They feel this depth of love, but they don't feel the unconditional love for themselves. And, it triggers lots of fearful emotions within themselves of abandonment issues, trust issues, insecurity, self-loathing, addictions can be present in a twin flame connection as well. And of course, often the runner is running away from something that they've been running away from their whole life. And meeting their twin is a very important experience, because twin flame dynamics, they're mirrored experiences. And what I mean by that is, when you look at your twin, you're actually looking in a mirror of all the things that are within you that need to be healed, because they amplify and trigger all the things within you that need to be looked at. If you look at the nature of a healer, if you go to a healer for healing, they are actually the catalyst, the vehicle, in order to discover the healing within yourself. So if you go to a counselor, for example, they actually prod you with leading questions in order to identify a root cause of something so you can really focus on it. And sometimes there may be something that comes up in a therapy session that you're like, oh my gosh, I never even thought of that. Something that's really buried deep. The counselor isn't the healer. The counselor is the vehicle, the catalyst to get there, to the healing. You are the healer. You heal the things within yourself. So the vehicle or the catalyst, the counselor, is the catalyst for change. They offer you a platform to step into empowerment and heal yourself. And that's what the twin flame process is also doing. It is the vehicle of change. So your twin is amplifying things within yourself that need to be looked at, and vice versa. And the chaser tends to be the one willing to surrender to the union and say, okay, let's do the work. Let's really surrender to this love, because it is a love like no other. But the runner is like, I can't do that. There's stuff there that I've been running away from for years, and they feel overwhelmed by their emotions. Now, I'm not here to give anyone an excuse or a way out. I'm here to understand both sides of the energy so I can understand the outcome energy for you as well there. So I feel it's important to give you a bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame connection. There's a lot out there, okay, to look at, but this is just a bite-sized idea whilst I shuffle the cards. People who've had levels of trauma, if they haven't put back the broken pieces and they're still shattered, it's really hard to love that person, and it's really hard for them to offer you the true love that you deserve and desire from a healthy place, because they're not capable of it, because they can't love themselves in that moment. Twin flames, they rarely actually encounter each other. You don't meet your twin every lifetime. I want you to be aware of that. But there is a deeper understanding in a twin flame connection. And loving a broken person is never easy. It requires patience. And I see that you've had a lot of patience with this connection. And I feel that your person, looking at the energy right now, they're aware that their actions caused repercussions in the relationship. Okay, I feel they are aware that their actions have consequences, and I can see here with the Eight of Pentacles is triggered some sort of repair within them at this moment in time. And the Queen of Cups present in their energy, it means that they love you, because this is their pile. How do they feel about you? Well, they fell in love with you. That Queen of Cups is there highlighting that there is love. Okay, but I feel like they are trying to repair in order to be able to offer you the divine love that you truly deserve and desire. Okay, I need to go one more. My guides asked me to go again, so I will. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? What do they need to know? Okay, with the Six of Pentacles. Balance and reciprocity is the key to this relationship. I feel like you may have been a bit of an overgiver, my beautiful Gemini, in this connection, and you're learning about balance and reciprocity. But we have the Sun in your energy, we have the Eight of Wands, and we have the Devil card. So for some of you, there may have been some sort of excess in this connection. You may have met this person either through partying, for example, or maybe your person has some level of addiction there as well. Not always the case, but when the devil is present, it can indicate that there may be addictive qualities or addictive personalities there, where everything's intense, like high intensity relationships, needing a quick fix. It often stems from a root cause from childhood or from the teenage years where you witness or experience something that marks you forever. And especially if you've witnessed parents or guardians divorcing, or a turbulent energy where they're fighting all the time or absent, or, this can be the first foundation of what it means to love. And as we mature and grow older, we start to realize that those patterns or those cycles, those constructs influenced who we are and how we conduct ourselves in relationships, and the fears that we have and the hopes that we have, and the desire for the intensity, especially if you witnessed parents or guardians bickering away, battling, being toxic towards each other. That can represent to a child the excitement and volatility of a relationship that is actually negative, but they're thinking, well, they should be in love. This is obviously love. So they're witnessing it as a foundation of what it means to be in love. So they may, as they grow older, seek toxic relationships or people who are emotionally unhealed or unavailable, because it perpetuates a cycle of need to feel that intensity, that drama. They seek the drama, they seek the quick fix, they seek the intensity of the highs and lows, and that's what makes them feel alive. And that's what I'm feeling from your person. Okay, so we'll get into this in a moment to see what's going on there, but please look up online what it means to be in a twin flame connection. Some people do ask, well, why don't twins just say they love each other or just like get a grip? But actually, if you're coming from a place of trauma, it's very hard to trust the nature of love or being in a high level commitment, because when you're broken, life puts you back differently. And of course, when you are trying to articulate your feelings, especially if you're unhealed, you can fall back into unhealed responses like disassociation, like pushing a partner away, like feeling overwhelmed, not being able to speak your truth because you feel judged, or maybe there's an abandonment issue there. I'll tap in to see what's going on with your person, but I feel your person tends to look for the excitement and the quick fix in relationships. But also, we've got the Devil card here for some of you, and because you have the Eight of Wands, which means a lot of you are thinking about moving on, moving away from this. You've sent this person a message. In fact, I feel like you've sent this person many a message trying to heal this connection. You love this person. This person like threw you into a period of awakening. It was like suddenly your world turned upside down. A lot of you are learning to shine your light again and not allow it to dull your shine or tear you down. But I feel like you've been to some dark places because you're shining so bright right now. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there. So much love. The twin flame journey is a very challenging one. It's not like these Hollywood movies present them to be. It's often a lonely experience, but it is very rewarding when you come back together in union with your person. I feel like you're reaching for better in your life right now. You're reaching for healthier options. I feel also you're trying to dissect this connection to really get clarity on what happened there. The Sun card can indicate that you have gone through a very intense period of sudden growth, okay? That you... Thanks so much, I'm truly grateful. Interesting. I would never put it this way, but I just got this from my guides that you got so close to this person, it was like Icarus flying too close to the sun. You got burnt. Okay, that's what I'm being given. So maybe that's how you're feeling right now. My guides just tapped me on the shoulder and gave me that energy for you. So I feel a lot of you are tempering your approach. I do see that there is an energy here of you learning that your happiness is not tied up with another person. That is one of the hardest lessons to learn in a twin flame connection, because it's often symbiotic, it's often all-consuming, and there is a need, like an obsession. Okay, and that Devil card is there, so it can indicate that some of you may have felt very obsessed with your thoughts. You can't stop thinking about your person, even though you're trying to heal and move away from this. A lot of you with this Devil card energy may have even tried to numb your feelings in this as well. Not all of you, of course. The Devil card can indicate that you're shining a light on your fears based on the trigger in this connection, because the Devil it's not an evil card. It is there to identify where you're feeling stuck, and you're feeling a little bit stuck in this. You're feeling like nothing's happening. It's just in the same position. You feel bonded to this person, and there may have been a toxic cycle of repeat that you're trying to break free of, but you must identify it first. And in order to identify it, you must feel fed up of it. Because humans rarely change unless they're really fed up with something, okay? And you're exhausted, you're burnt out, you're fed up, and you can't take this anymore. So now you're really looking at it from a different perspective. The Sun card indicates that you're shining a light on it and really seeing your truth of the situation, to be free from it. Because actually when I touch this card, I'm seeing the word freedom in the water. So you're detaching. A lot of you, especially with that Eight of Wands, I feel like you're trying to move on from this. And your detachment is really important. I always explain twin flames like magnets, both identical in polarity. There is a push and pull. Two magnets that are the same, because of course you're twins, okay? This is an indication that the frequencies, they will never truly connect because you're two alike. In some respects, not all respects, of course, but in some respects. It's almost like you may feel that this person is like you, but just in a different form. And it's such a weird experience because it's so intense. The passion is like off the charts. It's magnetic. You're drawn to this person, but because you have the Sun and the Devil card, it can be like a moth to a flame. You know that this person is unhealed. You know that this person has not done the spiritual work, and that repeating the cycle will hurt. So I feel with the Eight of Wands, you're trying to remove yourself from this situation at this time because it hurts too much. Okay, and the magnets are important because both of you want to be together. You're magnetized towards each other. There is that attraction, but also that repulsion because the frequencies are identical and they cannot ever connect unless the frequencies change. And the only way to do that is to focus all that energy inwards. Unconditional love for self. Focusing on your true sense of purpose and your true mission in life. That's what it's all about, because twins tend to have a mission or a soul purpose. So as soon as you do that, especially if you're the chaser in this situation, because a lot of you, I'm looking at this energy, it's like the polarities are shifting. You're becoming the runner. You're stepping away, okay? It's almost like you want to go out and have fun. You want to have variety, the spice of life. You've thought long and hard about this. You don't want to step away from your twin, but you feel like you've been left no other choice. So I feel a lot of you are wondering, was this just a physical encounter? Was just this on the surface? Because I feel a lot of you are feeling at this time that this person was only attracted to you for the physical. And that looking at the energy, the Queen of Cups, no, this person's in love. But I got to identify why this person, because there is a reason why this person stepped away. But as soon as you withdraw your energy and focus on yourself, because the Sun card is an ego card, not in a negative way, but it is an ego card that focuses on the self in order to shine your light, build in confidence, reach for healthier options, and really make sure that you do not do your body, mind, or soul a disservice by accepting something less than you truly deserve. Okay, so this Sun card indicates you're reaching for something else right now, and it means removing your presence from your twin, which means you're also the catalyst for change. This is perfect, okay? It's hard to withdraw, but in that withdrawal, because some of you, that Devil card can be fear, anxiety of stepping away from something that you truly desire, that you truly want. It often feels like the path towards reunion is conducive to the actual reunion. By stepping away, you feel like you're removing yourself or you're never going to see this person again. But you've got the Wheel of Fortune. You're fated. You're destined to be together. You're going to be drawn back towards each other. And I feel for some of you, this could even be through a third party. Okay, so either your person is going to get counseling, for example, and this will help them process their feelings, and this third party will actually help them reflect on how they love you and reunite with you, or it could be through a friend that says, look, you both want to be with each other. You both need to step into that empowerment, own your truth, and be real with each other and say, look, this is how I'm feeling. So, because I'm seeing with that Six of Pentacles, there's an energy of like a third person coming in and saying, look, I'm bringing you together. This could also be the nature of the universe there, bringing you together. Okay, so perhaps the third party, if you know the Six of Pentacles, which is your final card, if you know the Six of Pentacles in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there are two people in need on the ground, and there is one tall figure which often represents spirit or the universe giving in generosity. And it often means a surprise. Suddenly, out of the blue, the universe is stepping into your union, divine intervention, as it were, to bring you both back together in reciprocity. And that's what I feel is happening as an outcome in your relationship. But right now, looking at the energy, we've got that Eight of Wands, which means you're kind of stepping away from this, or you're the runner in this situation at this present time. I mean, the Eight of Wands tells me that you've messaged this person. You've tried your best. But also, I feel there is this obsessive energy, not impatience, but it's almost like, how can I put that? Don't shoot the messenger when I say this. It's almost like you've given so much of yourself to this connection that when it didn't go the way you'd hoped for, it's turned into anger, rage, and maybe even toxicity. There's just this misalignment with energies and emotions, and it feels like you're trapped in this. You know, for some of you, it could be also that you're like, because I'm getting an energy that your person's in recovery, okay? Or perhaps you're in recovery from something, but I feel some of you, it's like you're leaving an abusive situation behind, and it's an experience you had before you met your twin, and it has triggered fears within you, but I feel it's not going to end in the same way. Your twin was there to amplify all of the stuff that had been left unhealed. So that is coming through there as well, is what I'm feeling. But there's more than that. There's this energy coming through, and I can't really put it into words. I'll always be honest with you. I'm not going to give you like flowery words to make something up and say, here you go, here's your reading. I'm really tapping into energies and scrying, and I'm trying to understand what this energy is that's coming through. The Eight of Wands, it's like, it's not manipulation. I want you to be aware of that. It's not that at all. I just feel like either there's been some sort of interference in this connection, or you discover something about your person through a third party, but actually it's a misunderstanding that's coming through. So maybe that's it. I'm going to like step away from that energy because I can't quite locate it. So I'm not going to talk about it if I can't understand it. So I'll just leave it there. If it comes up again, I will mention it there. But you've got that Eight of Wands. So this tells me that you're freeing yourself up from this energy because you've been feeling stuck in this. You know, it's not going anywhere. It just leads in the same pattern, and you're fed up of this. You're like in anguish almost. Maybe that's the energy. Anguish, despair, like bewilderment. Like, what happened? You seem to be on a course moving forward, and then suddenly it stops dead in its tracks. It's over, it's ended, or it became toxic. So I'm just going to pull a card on that. But the Eight of Wands indicates, you know, that there's normally a really positive outcome when you move forward focusing on self, because 8 is the number of self. And it's like you telling the universe that you deserve better, you deserve more, you're valuing yourself in a different way. And that also teaches your twin about reciprocity and stepping up to adhere to your boundaries. They're going to get an option. You know, I feel there could be like a make or break conversation with you and your person in the future about coming together, but I feel divine intervention. The universe is going to make sure that you see each other again. Like, I'm feeling it, and you got the Wheel of Fortune again. Divine intervention. You were destined to be together. You're going to be together again. So you will meet each other again in this lifetime. I just got to work out when, because looking at the energy, I feel Eight of Pentacles, both of you are in the eights. So you're focusing in the rite of passage of the twin flame dynamic, which is to separate and take a journey alone. It feels like both of you are almost like, you know, separate on purpose right now in order to come back to self. So are you going to connect in the next 6 weeks? I'll have to find that out in a moment, but I feel like you're destined to go through this process at this time, and a cycle of change is upon you both. I want to pull a card separately on that Devil card alone to see why it's in your pile, because I feel this is either worry or you feel addicted to this person, questioning whether this person is just looking towards you for the physical, but they're showing up as having love for you. You may have also told yourself that, you know what, okay, if it's a no strings attached kind of thing, that's fine. I'll just deal with that. This could be the duality of you trying to make it work. Maybe that's what I was trying to articulate earlier, that there's this kind of like obsessive side, this lusty side, this passionate side that kind of like overrides your sensibility, as it were. And it's like, okay, you know what? I actually want to be with this person. I love this person. I want to move forward. I see a future with this person. But if all that's on offer right now is a physical connection, I'll take it. So I'm feeling that. For some of you, you may have thought about that. You may not have done that. But, you know, I feel there's this energy of like throwing caution to the wind with the Devil card, saying, okay, I'm just going to throw myself into this because I'm addicted to it. And it's like the pattern is addictive. Ten of Wands. Now, the Ten of Wands indicates that you're trying to clear space for a new beginning. It indicates that this is a heavy burden relationship. There's some baggage here that needs to be let down. But it also indicates you're nearly close to this like breakthrough moment on this twin flame connection. So it can be this inner dialogue, this inner battle that you're going through right now, my beautiful Gemini, where you're like, should I stay? Should I go? Because you haven't come this far to only come this far, but at the same time, you're feeling stuck. There's no movement. So you're in a conundrum. You're like, well, what do I do next? So with that Sun card, it can be that you're trying to reach for something more, but you're trying to get clarity about what is the next step. The Devil card says, you know, there's fear, but stick it out. That you're obsessed with this and that you are drawn to this person like no other. But the Eight of Wands says, move on, focus on self. I have to say that the Eight of Wands should win because this is when you really change the dynamic. If you get stuck in the Devil energy of saying, okay, you know what, I'll just take it. I'll just, I don't feel like you're like that at all, but I feel like you may have thrown caution to the wind on occasion with this, knowing that you're going to get hurt. As I said, it's the moth to the flame. Okay, and I'm only mentioning that. I'm not saying that you're the sort of person who's like, okay, you know what, they could just come in and do whatever they want. You're not that at all. You're someone who's very empowered, highly enlightened with that Sun card energy, okay? But I feel like you are seeing the measure of your actions and how stepping away or moving on actually helps you value yourself, erect a healthier boundary, and actually that's when you're going to promote this person to step up and a flurry of messages are going to come on in. Now, some of you may have actually received a message from your person, and if you haven't, I feel like you will, and you may actually dissect it, overanalyze it, look at it from different angles before you even message this person. My guides are giving me this. If you're going to return a message to this person, just say what's on your mind straight away. Don't overanalyze it, just set it out. But looking at the energy, I feel stepping back, focusing on self, because 8 is the number of the self, that will actually help transform your relationship into something that is more healthy, because that is the divine pathway of the twin flame connection. Now, looking at your person's cards, we have cause and effect, okay? So, I mean, I'm going to look at this from a different angle because my guides are asking me to remove myself a little bit from the energy in order to see something from a different perspective. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you may have actually been the runner first. You may have, out of fear, based on a previous experience, you may have taken a step back. Not all of you, but my guides want me to just shift perspective on some of you. And it's an indication that there was a misunderstanding. You may have been nervous about getting into a relationship, especially if you've had a traumatic experience before you met your twin. It triggered fears. The Devil card is fears that have been triggered that we obsess about, right? So it can indicate that you are owning your truth right now and acknowledging that something happened at the beginning of this relationship that was misconstrued and it had a knock-on effect. Now, again, there's no blame game here. You're trying to work out your feelings. And that's okay. We're all here to question. We're all here to work out this thing called life and just navigate the path. Sometimes we don't even work it out. Just when we think we have a measure of life, life comes along and says, plot twist. So some of you are just trying to like navigate your way at this moment in time. But I'm seeing a snake in the water right now. So this could be jealousy or fear, insecurity. For some of you, you know, you may have been hurt in the past. I mean, the snake is toxicity as well. So it can be that some of you were dealing with something personal when you first met your twin. And, you know, you had to factor all those things in and you didn't want to get them involved in your relationship. So please take it as it resonates. My guys just asked me to see it from another angle on this occasion. So what fits, please take it, and the rest know that it must fit someone else out there. But the outcome will still be the same, because your person has the Justice card, which means they're in a period of accountability. They're looking at their own actions. I mean, this is how they feel about you as well. You are their truth. You offered them a platform of change. And I feel that their actions, because they're recognizing it's their overarching energy. If it was below here, if they'd received the Justice card here and say the Queen of Cups there, it can be that they loved you, but you pushed them away. But it's not that, okay? This is their overarching energy. Your overarching energy is the Sun card. You knew straight away that this person was your divine counterpart. You had so much love for this person. You actually shone a spotlight on them, made them feel special. You gave everything that you had. And I feel for some of you, very important, because you got the Six of Pentacles here and the Sun card. Some of you may have inadvertently put them on a bit of a pedestal, because, you know, when we go into a relationship, especially the first 3 to 6 months, it's the honeymoon period, right? And we think that the person that we've met is the best thing since sliced bread. And of course they are. But in that, we forget that so are we. So sometimes when we're so busy giving to a person, we actually inadvertently put them on a pedestal and readdress the balance of the dynamic in the relationship. When we put someone on a pedestal, we don't realize it, but we actually put ourselves below that person, and the dynamic shifts. So you may have been giving so much to this connection, and they may have been just taking. Okay, and now I feel this person recognizes that with that Justice card there, that basically I also feel this person is receiving some karma at this moment in time, but there was a cause and effect here in this connection. And I feel this person wants to take accountability for actions, because I feel like they recognized that you gave so much to this. And looking at the energy, the Eight of Pentacles, they were either a little bit, I want to say they were focusing on something in particular. I don't want to say self-absorbed or selfish. I don't feel that at all. But I need to pull a card to see what it is, because for some of you, this person, they could have just come out of a previous relationship and said, you know what, I'm going to take my time for me. I'm going to be a little bit selfish. I'm going to reinvest in self. And they were closed off to love. But then they met you, because this person, Eight of Pentacles, indicates that they were repairing something before they even met you. And then they fell in love. So they hadn't fully let go of the baggage. And it may have bled into this relationship, and you may have got caught up in the crossfire, and it made you adjust your stance in the relationship, take a step back, which then was misconstrued by your person, and then it was like a knock-on effect. Two people kind of like being triggered by each other. It's like one takes a step back, the other one takes a step back, then suddenly you're at a distance. Suddenly it's like stalemate. Nothing's happening. So I just need to pull a quick card on this for you. Thanks so much, Spirit Guides, Guardians, Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Gemini? What do they need to know? Ooh, okay. Five of Swords, self-sabotage. This person, they had been in a very abusive relationship before they even met you, okay? Five of Swords can indicate they are very hurt by another person, okay? Five of Swords, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, it shows a person who is taking all the swords. No matter who it hurts, they're taking everything. And I feel this person may have been in a relationship where they took everything, whether it was a divorce and they took everything, or whether they were in a relationship. It's like they took everything from the person that you're now connected to as a twin, and they were very wounded. Nine of Pentacles. And they said, just like these cards are saying, Nine of Pentacles is like, I don't want to connect to anybody. I just want to enjoy my singlehood. I want no strings attached. Or I feel like this person was just fine by themselves. You know, they were learning about independence. They were learning to nurture themselves, focus on their true purpose. But I also feel that it was a karmic experience they had, a very damaging one. And I feel they were educated a lot about love, and they saw that love equates pain. Nine is a single energy. It says, I don't want to be connected to a relationship. Nine is a hermit mode energy. It's like, no, something ended. Nines are endings when it comes to spirituality, as well as 10. But 10 is an ending that leads to an evolution. 9 is an ending that haunts, that hasn't quite been processed, that isn't fully there yet. very protective energy. So I feel that your person was very hurt. And again, there's no excuse here. Everybody needs to take accountability for actions. Your person's an adult, right? So I feel this person here, they want to take accountability for their actions because I feel like they regret some of the choices they made. So this person will want to find a solution. Whenever you have the Justice card as an overarching energy, this person wants to win you back. They want to speak their truth. They want to be honest with you. I feel like they have been honest with you, but I feel with that Eight of Pentacles, they hadn't repaired, so they denied their feelings. They were actually not honest with themselves. 8 is the number of self, and that's why I feel both of you are in the rite of passage right now. The separation period has to occur. Now, if you keep reaching out to your person, the separation period can happen for a long time. But if you step away, it encourages the relationship to move forward at a greater pace. So stepping away is actually that catalyst for change. So Eight of Pentacles means this person got in a cycle of repeat. You know, they're aware of their patterns and they're trying to reset at this time. This person is trying to work on themselves, and so are you. So I feel right now you're exactly where you need to be. And with that Queen of Cups, this person acknowledges that they fell in love with you. They also need to learn about loving themselves, because that Five of Swords indicates there's a lot of self-sabotage. They tear themselves down, a lot of self-loathing going on in your person. Queen of Cups tells me they need to learn to love themselves, implement self-care needs as a ritual, not just a one-off experience, and also learn that they are secure in their emotions of love with you, that you offered them a secure relationship. As you can see, we've got two tigers there in this card, two wild, independent, free spirits that can be together, but they need to learn that neither is a threat. Okay, so I feel that's something that's coming out in your reading. Now, the outcome energy is the Wheel of Fortune. So this tells me that things will change in your future. Destiny will bring you both together. There has been a cycle of repeat, but now there's a gear shift because both of you are working on yourself at this time, and this will bring you back together. Okay, interesting, because I'm seeing like this energy of connection, a bridge crossing the divide in this card. I wish you could see what I can see, but balance, harmony, and reciprocity is the bridge that helps in the divide. So I'm being given this energy that there will be an opportunity for you both to come together and meet in the middle, as it were. So if there is an actual distance between you and your person, I feel, will initiate some sort of conversation. I'll have to pull a card on that, though, just to clarify. And they will say, let's meet at the midway point. So if there's a distance, I feel like they will travel to you and you will travel to them, and you'll meet in the middle. But this could also be symbolic of literally meeting in the middle on something, okay? So I'm just going to pull a card on this. Can you please show me, after the 6 weeks, this particular connection, what's going on there? Three Swords. So Three Swords is pain, heartbreak. It is acknowledging that there's hurt in the relationship. It is about speaking one's truth. Swords are all about communication, okay? Talking about the sadness, talking about the sorrow, the despair, the difficulty. So it could be that you talk about how difficult it has been separated from each other, or the suffering, you know, the root cause of the reason why there's been a stalemate. You know, the Two of Swords is a stalemate, of course, but it's also a head-to-head. It's also, you know, a discussion, two people meeting in the middle. You know, if you know the meaning of the Two of Swords, it is to protect one's peace, but also to take a temporary pause in order to reflect on the truth of the matter. And it can be a discussion between two people. Two swords represent two people discussing from their viewpoint how they're hurt or what went down. And this could be discussing things from the past or fears, because the Devil card is present. For example, if your person has addictive traits or patterns, or was in addiction but is now in recovery, it can be that they were on a program that limits connection with lots of different aspects of relationships so that they don't fall into a cycle of addiction, because we can be addicted to many things. And once a person who has addictive qualities, you know, decides to recover from one addiction, they have to be careful that the feeling of addiction doesn't get channeled into some other area of their life. So a lot of you could be dealing with something like that right now. And there is a step process before they can come back together. But the majority of you are dealing with a person who wants to talk. They want to actually account for their actions. And the Ace of Cups is present, which means there's love. But both of you needed to learn to love yourself from a healthy place, because we cannot love another person if we do not love ourselves. The cup of love starts with the self first. So a lot of you, your person, there was self-loathing there, and they were tearing themselves down in fear. They're definitely haunted by something, because the Nine of Cups is there, which means something from their past plays on their mind. And there's a lot of regret here. This person, they have anguish for their actions. They feel guilty. They feel concern. And I feel this energy that, you know, sometimes they have nightmares about the fact that they let you go or the way it went down. That's what I'm feeling with this. But I feel all of your cards, the Two of Swords is like to discuss the Ace of Cups, the love that's there at the core of this relationship, and the fears. Sometimes we can love a person so deeply, we fear them leaving. And sometimes that gives us a level of detachment where we cannot understand. Like, in order to protect ourselves, we push away. Humans are very complex. So whatever it is that you or your person are dealing with right now, I feel like you're trying to navigate feelings in order to, one, come back to your sense of self, to rediscover that spark within yourself. And then you can feel fulfilled and then come together in unity. Remember that your twin flame is an addition to your life. Some people sort of forget that twins, they are separate entities. They are connected by a bond like no other. They're not part of the same soul. You know, there's a lot on the internet that says that twin flames are connected to the same soul. They're connected to the same source. They're connected to each other, but they are both separate entities, because if we go under the guise that, you know, we are searching for our other half, or our other half is missing, it implies that part of us is missing, that we are not whole all by ourselves. And I feel that's the lesson to learn in this twin flame connection, that your happiness is not tied up with another. Your happiness comes from within. And when you feel fulfilled within, then you can connect to your twin on a healthy level. And that's vice versa as well. Now we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Ten of Wands. So I feel there is a lot of baggage here. Ten of Wands, Ten of Swords, this can indicate there's a conversation, because the Two of Swords is there. Right now, it feels like it's over. And the Ten of Wands can indicate that there's lessons to be learned, or there is something that needs to be set down in this. Ten of Wands actually means that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. You're both very strong people. You've been through a lot, and you're so close to the home space. Traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Ten of Wands, the figure is carrying all of the wands, which is every experience they ever had. And they're really close to the home. The home is in the background, so it means they're about to set down their heavy load. And there lies a breakthrough. It's like clearing space for a new beginning. The Ace of Cups is a new beginning, a new platform to rediscover your love. But the Ten of Swords indicates that both of you are broken down and tired by this relationship for different reasons. But there is a sense of feeling bereft or anguish, or like such sorrow that you can't see how you can move past this. There's an emptiness there. Ten of Swords can indicate a really painful ending. So maybe that's it. The way it ended, you and this person need to discuss this. Otherwise, you will never get past this if you want to reunite. Now, many years ago, a friend of mine went through some counseling. I'm not going to mention names, of course, but they were having problems with their relationship. And the discussion of cheating came up. One party felt that they had been cheated on, and the other party swore that no, cheating had occurred. And they were at this like crux, this fork in the road. Two people who loved each other dearly, didn't want to lose each other, and yet there was this thing on the table where one perceived one perspective of being cheated on, and the other person said, no, I did not cheat. Go through my phone, go through everything. I didn't cheat, check everything, it didn't happen. But the fear of it was there. Once you start to suspect, it changes your vision. It's a lens that sort of closes over your eyes. Suspicion will always be there if there is suspicion from the very beginning. But they did some counseling, and the counselor said, well, okay, how are we ever going to get past this? If you feel like you've been cheated on and you feel like you haven't cheated and you're trying to both like save this relationship, what's the next step? The only next step is to move on from this. You must let it go. Talk about it, yes. But if you're going round and round in circles about the same thing, it'll always be in the same place. It will always be, you did this, no, I didn't. That is a stalemate. If you really, truly want to save the relationship, both of you need to let go of the past and start from the very beginning. Easier said than done, I know. So hard. In fact, they really tried, but they couldn't get over this part. Unfortunately, I got to be honest. And eventually, in order to save themselves and not tear each other down, they felt the best thing was if you love a person, let them go. And they decided to part ways. And they remained friends for a very long time, but they couldn't get over this one thing. So I feel a lot of you may be at this point in your relationship. Can you get over the one thing? Because only you can decide. It'll either fester and sit on that table and look at both of you, even if both of you are swearing that this is your truth. There can never be any movement forward unless both parties not agree to disagree, but really say, okay, because I love you, in order to save this relationship, I must let it go and we must start from scratch. And the divine counterpart must do the same as well. So I don't know who needs to hear that. Perhaps that's something that someone needs to hear, but accountability must be taken. The Justice card is present, which means truth shall prevail. It also means that accountability shall be taken, and both parties will have a really honest, open conversation to take responsibility. Now, of course, we have the Ten of Cups. This is in your future. Ten of Cups means surrendering to love, being together, sharing your life with each other. And you may not be able to see it right now and how it's going to come together, but the Wheel of Fortune is there, which means in divine order, you shall reunite, and both of you have a shot at happiness. You know, there's two beautiful big cats in this card as well. I can't quite see if they're tigers, but I suspect they are, okay? But in this card, it's both of you walking alongside each other, where these two big cats are sitting stationary. Nothing's happening, and both looking in different directions. So both of you need to look in different directions at this time in order to align on the same path. We can love a person to the ends of the earth with the deepest part of our soul, but if we're not looking in the same direction of what we want for our future, it's a misalignment. I actually see that you and your person will come into alignment together. And that Queen of Wands can be the magnetism between you that you share. But there's a water bearer here in this card. Very interesting, not typical. But this can indicate with all those stars that only healing can promote the magnets coming back together. But also the Queen of Wands can indicate, you know, some sort of third party or some sort of group gathering, some sort of collaboration to work together in order to foster feelings where both parties can communicate their needs from a healthy place, but also understand each other on a different level in order to save the love that is between you both. And I feel with this Six of Pentacles that you're going to be surprised. Your person is going to reach out, but I feel the universe brings you both together in order to have balance, reciprocity. But I feel someone is being sent to you, either a counselor, either your person's going to tell you that they went through some counseling or suggests counseling, for example, or it can be that, you know, as you can see, this beautiful oyster shell is opening up there, that clam, it's opening up. And in the center is a beautiful pearl, a pearl of wisdom. The knowledge that you find within yourselves about this relationship will set you free and help you both open up to the magic and the value of this relationship. There's a lot of emotions to be unlocked in this connection, and both of you feel deeply for each other. And I feel like you both can find your way back towards each other, but it will be a process. We have the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands, of course, is the physicality. It can be that one party, or even both parties at some points, have been mistaking the physicality of the relationship for intimacy. And it is to move away from the idea that this is just a physical thing. There's more to it than this relationship. Also, the Knight of Wands can indicate that you're called to focus on your passions at this time, to focus on your sense of purpose. And once that happens, the Chariot card is to overcome the obstacle and move forward. On the Chariot card, there's normally 2 horses or 2 sphinxes, and they're both normally heading in the same direction. So again, it's the same energy that you and this person, you can overcome the obstacle, but you both need to choose. First off, you need to choose yourselves. And then the universe will bring you both together, and then you need to choose each other. But first off, with the 8s in your reading, you both need to choose yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to pull some final cards. These are messages of anything that's been left unsaid in this connection. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide? So, your first card in this is please believe in us. This connection is worth the wait. Now, I always say do not wait for your twin because they have a path to navigate and it will happen in divine order. And that's not going to be on your time, my beautiful Gemini. So, you know, when the time is right, you will come back together in union. I mean, I literally was the runner in my twin flame connection at first. And I kid you not, I bumped into my twin in a huge city of like millions of people. I bumped into my twin 3 times. 3 times in different years. The universe kept bringing us back together. So I am proof of that. I want you in my life, but I'm afraid. And this person has so many fearful energies coming out there. But also, I feel the Devil card is present in your reading and your pile. So this tells me that you want this person in your life deep down, but you're afraid that this person will repeat a cycle. Because they have the 8 of Pentacles, yes, they have been repeating a cycle, but there will be a measure of change. I would say this person will reach out and try to reconnect with you, maybe even like suggest meeting for a drink or a beverage or a meal or something, and there will be a conversation. But take it slow, because I feel like this person, they still got a little bit of ways to go. That 8 of Pentacles indicates they're repairing something within themselves. And when the moment is right, you'll know. And then you can both come together in a long-term sustainable relationship, because that 10 of Cups says so. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Okay, we've only got 1. So we have a daisy, which is a fresh new start. Okay, let me just see. Yeah, they love me not. This happened in a reading the other day, and I just thought of it. It didn't come through for my guides, but a daisy can indicate a fresh new start. It's like starting from the ground up. What seems like it's over and it's done, it can be resurrected, and it can, you know, move forward, but there must be growth there as well. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates with you, my beautiful Gemini. Eventually you will have that choice, that decision to make for yourself. It's your prerogative. There's going to be a lot of you that say, nope, not going to do this anymore, going to move on, I just want to have fun. Especially since the Devil card and the Knight of Wands came out, a lot of you are like, you know what, I just want to get out there and have like flirtations. I just want to like live again. This became so heavy. Doesn't mean you want to actually connect to another person, but it could do. But in that self-discovery energy, you know, it can be that it's a catalyst of change, because you step away from your twin and that encourages them to step up and then lead and come towards you. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, and love and light.